had to readjust the camera here, so you're not gonna see me in my traditional setup, but yeah, that way we can put the Christmas tree in the view of the camera here. So yeah, so because it is Christmas, if you're watching this, I'm actually shooting this on Christmas Eve, and so yeah, we're gonna do Kdog'S movies here, and we're gonna play some of my favorite Christmas movies back to back to back. I don't know how many I'm going to do for sure, but we're just going to keep going until I'm either tired or I do have to leave around 8:45 to go to a candlelight service, so but that's only going to be an hour, so should be back in time to start another film. And so we're going to try to squeeze in two at this moment, and got a list of films that I would like to show. I'm thinking more of my Christmas comedies, and of course, we can think of more popular ones that right offhand, which would show like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Home Alone. We could possibly do a couple of those, but this is one I've constantly rewatched. It was actually a good adaptation from a classic novel, and it was actually the second time that Disney ever adapted this story to the screen. They did this story, and it has been adapted. First of all, it's been adapted countless times, from the original Alastair Sim version to there was an MGM version back in the 40s. There was one with George C. Scott. There was Bill Murray's version, Scrooged. Of course, I just kind of gave the title away. There was another one in the 70s that was a musical called Scrooge. Disney alone has adapted it 3 times. But yeah, and just countless Broadway musical versions. This is going to be our first movie, and it's the second Disney adaptation. They brought on board the Jim Henson Company to do an adaptation starring the Muppets, and it is The Muppet Christmas Carol from, I believe, 1993. It was directed by Brian Henson, and it was, I think, the first time the Muppets had been back on the screen since the 80s, and it was the first Muppet movie minus Jim Henson, I think. But yeah, it does fairly well in telling an adaptation. Of course, it's incorporated a ton of Muppet humor and jokes and whatnot. And you have Michael Caine playing an excellent Ebenezer Scrooge. The film is also a musical with several catchy little songs. And yeah, and you have just several Muppet characters playing the parts of famous Christmas Carol characters. So like the film is going to star Kermit the Frog as Bob Cratchit, Michael Caine as Ebenezer Scrooge, Miss Piggy is Mrs. Cratchit, and you have the great Gonzo as Charles Dickens playing a narrator, and Rizzo the Rat as himself, and countless other characters, and you'll know them once you see them. Punch up your Disney Plus because it's available on there if you would like to join along. And so, yeah, let's sit back and watch The Muppet Christmas Carol, released by Walt Disney Pictures and Jim Henson Productions in 1993. Roll it.
Ah, humbug. He was the greediest man alive.
It's Ebenezer Scrooge.
Until the night he met someone extraordinary.
Hello.
The Muppet Christmas Carol.
to Mr. Scrooge, even though he is odious and stingy and badly dressed.
Humbug.
Oh, there goes Mr. Humbug. There goes Mr. Grin.
Do you think it's safe for us to be up here?
If they gave a prize for being mean, the winner would be him.
Yes, Mr. Cratchit.
If you please, Mr. Scrooge, the bookkeeping staff would like to have an extra shovel full of coal for the fire.
Our assets are frozen.
How would the bookkeepers like to be suddenly unemployed?
Heat wave. Oi! This is my island in the sun.
It's Charles Dickens' classic tale, as only the Muppets can tell it.
It's good to be heckling again.
It's good to be doing anything again.
Filled with holiday warmth
Hey, like the lamp, not the rat, like the lamp, not the rat.
and Christmas spirit.
Jacob Marley?
Oh, that's scary stuff. Should we be worried about the kids in the audience?
No, it's all right. This is culture.
This is the movie to see, to share, to cherish with someone you love.
Thank you for making me a part of this.
Walt Disney Pictures presents from Jim Henson Productions, The Muppet Christmas Carol.
God bless us, everyone.
Whatever.
So that was A Muppet Christmas Carol from 1992. I know I said 1993, but the home video came out in 1993, while the theatrical run of the film was in 1992. This was made during a period where Disney actually owned the Jim Henson Corporation for a while. And I don't know, well, I take that back. Maybe they didn't own the Jim Henson Corporation, but they got into a agreement where Disney would distribute a good number of films and even re-released a couple of films under Jim Henson Video, which was a Walt Disney distribution deal. One other thing to note about this film was the version that is available on the Blu-ray is the original theatrical cut of the movie. Now, the home video cut inserted a deleted scene, which was a song that, for some reason, Jeffrey Katzenberg, who was the head of Walt Disney Pictures at the time, he was not very keen of this specific scene in The Muppet Christmas Carol, and so he demanded that the scene be taken out. And it's a scene where the character of Belle, Scrooge's fiance, says goodbye. And there's this whole song that is that she sings called "When Love Is Gone." Well, Katzenberg did not like the song. He thought it was too depressing, slowed the picture down, and so he, as an executive, ordered that the scene be cut out of the movie. But however, for the home video release, that scene was inserted back into the movie. And after watching this, it feels empty right there without that song. It's not really a big song, but it feels empty because it's such a sad moment what actually happened with Scrooge. But after watching this, it just feels empty right there. And what makes it even more puzzling is at the end credits, they play the song again with Martina McBride singing it. Country singer Martina McBride doing a version of it. And so why reference it when it's not in the movie? So yeah, Muppet Christmas Carol from 1992. I had my information incorrect because it just seemed like it was all done right there together, and I remember seeing previews for it, but I was not thinking about Christmas movies. They get released in Christmas of one year, and then their home video release comes out the next Christmas. So yeah, but yeah, that was the Muppet Christmas Carol. Well, I'm trying to think what time it is. Don't have my phone on hand, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead with the next film. Now, this was a film that is kind of become kind of a cult classic. This film is probably one of the most popular films in the series of this character. We showed the Halloween movie back in October that he made, but this was the Christmas movie that kind of, it's really real popular. Matter of fact, this is the only title that Disney did not release to Mill Creek Entertainment. Well, what am I talking about? Ernest Saves Christmas from 1988. Yeah, so we're going to pop this one in. Running time, I believe, it's 92 minutes. So, yeah, we're going to pop this in. We're going to watch Ernest Saves Christmas now. The classic film from 1988. Yeah, so Ernest is back and he's to save Christmas, starring Jim Varney. Released by Touchstone Pictures in 1988. So, roll it.
In the past, there have been many traditional ways to celebrate Christmas. With songs, with gifts, with family and friends. There's a new way.
Ho, 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 Bert.
With Ernest. Ernest P. Worrell. He's back.
Know what I mean?
Back to save Santa.
Santa's in the slammer.
Look at those beady, twinkling eyes.
Back to save Christmas. Back to save face.
You're dead meat.
That's life for you. Isn't she a doll?
Ernest P. Worrell.
Mr. Funtime.
In the mission they said couldn't be done.
On Comet, on Cupid, on Donder.
In the movie they said shouldn't be done.
Sophie, Scruffy, Blister.
You guys say you have a problem with reindeer?
Trim the tree. Light the candles. Deck the halls. And hit the deck. 'Cause Ernest P. Worrell's coming to town. And he's coming
With colorful cards and festively wrapped packages.
Air brakes.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
So Ernest saved Christmas by passing on the torch to Joe for him to take over the responsibilities of Santa Claus. That was Ernest Saves Christmas. It's a product of the 80s. Some of the things don't hold up, but you know, obviously it is a classic, and of course Ernest, the character himself, is very, very timeless and in the comedy that he was doing. But of course, that film was actually shot at Disney MGM Studios. And you may remember back when I showed you a little clip of when we did Fly the Navigator, there was a little clip of actually seeing the flying saucers that they built for the movie. Well, also on that same tour was Vern's house that they used for Ernest Saves Christmas, and it was a part of the tour that they take you and show you behind the scenes and stuff like that. And so there's a part where they actually took you to all the facade houses that were used for different shows and such like that. Like for example, the Golden Girls house was there, and right across the street was the Empty Nest house. And if you don't remember what Empty Nest was the spin-off show of the Golden Girls. But also on that same street was Vern's house from Ernest Saves Christmas, and the Bulldog from The Rocketeer. The Bulldog Cafe. Yeah, the nice little facade houses. And also this film was shot in various parts of Orlando, and also including Nashville, Tennessee. So yeah, it was a southern film, let's just say that. And of course this was at the time, with it being shot in Orlando, that was the time when Disney MGM Studios was fairly new, and they were opening up their Florida studio to actually, welcome films and welcome TV shows and stuff like that. Now it's just a theme park mainly because in terms of a studio, it was mostly Disney Channel programs and specials, like the Mickey Mouse Club was shot there. But enough about that. That was Ernest Saves Christmas, and that's a film that we constantly rented throughout the years. Now this next one is also a classic. I'm going to squeeze this one in because this is also a classic that gets played every year. It needs to be played every year because it's a perfect depiction of what can and will go wrong at Christmas time. Everything from the tree trimming to the hanging of lights to snow sledding, family coming over, you guessed it, and even your job. What am I talking about? National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yeah, this one you have to play every year, and of course I think it's airing on television some point in time, but yeah, we're going to pop this one in. We're going to watch this. I'm going to take a little break after the film. I'll give my thoughts and opinions about it, obviously, but take about an hour break or a little more than that, and because I'm going to a candlelight service. So yeah, let's just keep rolling. Here is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, starring Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo and Randy Quaid, from 1989, released by Warner Brothers. Roll it.
'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la.
After vacationing across America and throughout Europe,
Take it, Russ.
this holiday season, the Griswolds are going to play it safe.
Clark, we're stuck under a truck.
Oops. They're staying at home.
I give you the Griswold family Christmas tree.
Hope you're not getting sap all over your sweater, Clark.
All Clark wants is a quiet, old-fashioned Christmas.
Sorry. Got a little knot here. You can work on that.
What he's going to get is the gift that keeps on living.
Merry Christmas.
His family.
We didn't come to impose.
Oh, hell, there's plenty of room.
Do you sleep with your brother? Do you know how sick and twisted that is, Mom?
Well, I'm sleeping with your father.
Have you got a kiss for me?
You better take a rain check on that, Art. He's got lip fungus they ain't identified yet.
But no holiday could ever be more deeply touching.
We were gonna call, but Eddie wanted to make it a surprise.
If I woke up tomorrow with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised than I am right now.
We're really gonna fly down the hill with this stuff.
So genuinely moving.
Can I refill your eggnog for you? Drive you out to the middle of nowhere, leave you for dead?
More truly uplifting.
Can I show you something?
I was just browsing.
Or more down to earth.
Merry Christmas!
If Santa is smart, he'll stay well clear of this joint. It's a death trap.
Than Christmas with the Griswolds.
Everybody come out quick, look at the lights!
They want you to say grace.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
This year, let Chevy Chase light up your holidays. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That thing had 9 lives. She just spent them all.
You woo, crack up.
So that was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation from 1989. I remember watching that one back in 1990, and it still holds up to this day about, you know, the family and just things going wrong, and it's still a funny movie. You know, I don't know how many times, you know, especially around this time of year, that you want to tell your bosses what Chevy Chase tells his boss, or tells the management as they walk by. It's still holds up to this day, of, you know, just Christmas traditions, and surprisingly it doesn't end up on a lot of the top 10 Christmas movies lists, but it still is, like, it's still remembered, it's still favored, and it's so many quotable lines from the movie, like, can I refill your eggnog for you? Get you something to eat? Drive you out to the middle of nowhere? Leave you for dead? Yeah, and of course Eddie doesn't catch on. So, well, it's almost 8:30. I need to head down to my local church, the Lighthouse Church of Hartford City. We're going to have a candlelight service. I don't know if we'll be back to show another movie, so if I do come back, we'll have another movie in store and going. This service only is supposed to last an hour, but it depends on when I get out after socializing. But yeah, so yeah. We'll just leave it right there. So, well, hopefully you guys are still with us. So, after the whole service last night, I decided to just come on home and just, you know, not watch any more movies for that evening. It's now Christmas Day, so yeah, we're carrying it over into Christmas Day. Of course, I'm going to be celebrating a little bit later on this morning with my family. So. But I thought we'd squeeze in another movie here. This is from 1996. I saw this one in the theater. This one's, I always thought it was funny. But when this came out, it was critically panned really, really bad. It was, yeah, but it seems to have a favoritism of so bad it's good, kind of. And so yeah, so it has such an iconic line that you know, put that cookie down now. How about Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, and of course Jake Lloyd. And so gather around the TV if you haven't if you're still watching these movies. Gather around. In the meantime, I'm gonna be playing Santa Claus here for a little bit and wrapping Christmas presents. And so, sit back, relax as we watch Jingle All the Way from 1996, released by 20th Century Fox. Roll it.
Every holiday season, there's one toy everyone has to have.
I want the Turbo Man action figure with the arms and legs that move, and the rocket roaring jetpack, and the boomerang shooter.
Getting it is every child's dream.
Whoever doesn't can be a real loser.
Finding it.
You got the doll, right?
Is this father's nightmare.
I'll get that toy. I promise. Whoa! Nothing like waiting until the last minute, Howitzer.
Especially on Christmas Eve.
Turbo Man, you're mine!
They're all gone.
These two are looking for a Turbo Man.
Where's your Christmas spirit?
The last one just left.
Now, it's two fathers.
This is war.
One mission.
Oh, poor baby.
And every man for himself.
I'm thinking maybe, we could join up as a team. Like Starsky and Hutch.
We're late delivery of Turbo Man. That toy works. Let's go.
Is there a problem, officer?
You can never do too much to make a child's Christmas magical.
Hey, buddy.
From the director of Mrs. Doubtfire.
You want a Turbo Man for Christmas?
Forget it. I'm not gonna sit in your lap.
Tony, show him.
That was taken this morning.
And from the director of The Flintstones.
Don't open that up. No.
Of course, there's some assembly required.
You know what you guys are? Nothing but a bunch of sleazy con men in red suits.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sinbad.
I work for the post office and I'm unstable. Tell him.
This man is totally insane.
Thank you.
Christmas comes but once a year.
Jingle All the Way.
You picked the wrong day.
So that was Jingle All the Way from 1996, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Also forgot Rita Wilson was in this film, who played, actually in real life is Tom Hanks' wife, so, but she was playing Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife in this film, so it's kind of reminiscent to a little bit of Home Alone in there too, the way the comedy is done. Of course, it was produced by Chris Columbus, who was the director of Home Alone. But the director was Brian Levant, who directed The Flintstones, and he also directed Beethoven. So, yeah. So, for right now, I'm going to go away because I need to get a hold of the family and see what's going on. So I've got presents wrapped, and so maybe back for another one later on. So don't go anywhere. So see ya for a minute. So just like that, Christmas has come, and it is currently at the end of Christmas Day. I think we're just going to end it right here and enjoy the rest of the Christmas Story marathon that's going on television. So, yeah. So I wish you a Merry Christmas. Probably be back after the New Year we're going to take a little bit of a break, and I don't know, it may come back with some more movies, and hopefully 2021 is a lot better of a year than what it has been. I mean, it's been a rough year for everybody. So, from me to you, Merry Christmas, God bless you, and see you later.